This is the most pathetic, spineless excuse of a team I've ever seen in my time watching the Chicago Bears. And that goes to the coaching staff, to the players, to the front office, to the owner, who is the most incompetent owner in the NFL, who's ruining what should be a premier great franchise for its fan base, a fan base that's so fucking passionate, that goes to all these games, spends so much time, so much energy hyping up this team. I'll be honest, guys, this is probably the lowest I've ever seen the Chicago Bears in my lifetime. And I watched all the Mark Trestman years, the John Fox years, like all these, you know, back-to-back blowouts under Mark Trestman where we gave up back-to-back 50 burgers against the Packers and the Patriots. I watched John Fox go 3-13. Was that? Yeah, that was 3-13 back then. I saw, obviously, us have the #1 pick last year, but even last year when we were statistically and, you know, in the record books, the worst team in the league, last year's team was much, much better than this team right now, which makes no sense at all. How was a team with Equinemius St. Brown, with Byron Pringle, with all these randoms on the defense at linebacker, at cornerback, how was that team more competitive and more bought in than this current team right now, which on paper seemed to have much upgraded talent? Obviously, like, all of our offensive line upgrades were injured in this game. All of our cornerback secondary upgrades also were injured in this game. So yes, we were missing guys, but that's no excuse for getting absolutely housed in this game from the beginning of the game. Okay, the Chiefs could have easily put 80 on us if they wanted to. They probably could have put 100 on us if they really tried to, but they took out Mahomes in the third quarter because they felt bad for us, and they even took the game off of TV nationally. That's how bad it became. This was America's game of the week, and you know, the decision makers at Fox took it off, I think, in the third quarter, because obviously, like, that's common sense. Nobody wants to watch this pathetic, sorry excuse of a football team that is called the Chicago Bears. And there's not a single positive I can take away from this game besides the fact that we're probably going to have the #1 overall pick again next year, probably another top 5 pick from the Panthers. But does it even matter if we know this terrible fucking franchise is probably going to ruin whoever we select again at pick #1? Like, there's nothing to say after a game like this except for fire everybody. I don't care who goes, from Matt Eberflus to Luke Getsy, even Ryan Poles at this point, which I know I've praised Ryan Poles in the past, and I still like a lot of what he did, like the ideas he had in the offseason, but at this point, nothing is working, okay? His roster is, again, it seems like the worst roster in football. So I know on paper that didn't seem like the case, like adding guys like DJ Moore, like Tremaine Edmonds, like TJ Edwards, like Yannick Ngakoue, it seemed like on paper this was not going to be nearly as bad of a roster as last year, but our coach Matt Eberflus is not getting anything out of these guys, and the decision to hire him was completely Ryan Poles' decision. So at the end of the day, like, Ryan Poles also deserves a lot of blame here, even though I think the roster should not be performing as bad as they should. Like, the coaching staff is definitely terrible. Like, he hired that coaching staff, so Poles also deserves a lot of blame. And the coaching staff, there's nothing good about them, okay? Matt Eberflus, Luke Getsy are two boneheads that are not going to be head coaches ever again, probably, in the NFL. Matt Eberflus has now only won 3 games in like 1.25 years, and I don't see many wins on our schedule the rest of the year either. So, like, if it was up to me, Matt Eberflus probably would be fired after this game or even during the game. At halftime, we know the Bears don't usually fire coaches in season, but I feel like they might actually do that this year just because Matt Eberflus is now in the middle of a 13-game losing streak, okay? The longest in franchise history. That has to count for something, right? Like, at least Mark Trestman, his teams were never the worst in the NFL. His first year, they won 8 games, I think, or 7 games, something like that. In the second year, obviously, we only won like 5 games, but this team is going to be lucky to win a single game the entire year. So, like, why even keep him at this point? You know you're going to fire him at the end of this year anyways. Might as well get a head start on that and do it right now. Fire Luke Getsy too. You know, this guy's not as innovative, as creative as people thought he was going to be, coming from the Shanahan tree. And talking about Justin Fields, guys, I've officially accepted he's not going to be that franchise quarterback that I thought he was going to be, that all of us Bears fans thought he was going to be, partly because the Bears have completely ruined this kid, okay? I don't think, at least with the Bears, he's not going to be that guy anymore because it's just beyond repair now. Like, all of his confidence is shattered. He's just not seeing the field at all at this point. You know, he's injured now too. Like, he took a big hit in this game, basically got punched and DJ Moore had to take him off the field, and he still played in the game after that because Matt Eberflus is a dumbass. But it's just such a shame how the Chicago Bears completely ruined a very talented quarterback prospect. The most talented quarterback prospect in our history has been completely ruined by this franchise because of how fucking incompetent we are, okay? And wherever Fields goes next year, I wish him the best of luck. Obviously, I do know he has major flaws as a quarterback, like in seeing the field, in passing. Like, he has a lot of areas to grow in his game, but I'm confident with maybe with a different franchise, like, he's going to figure those things out because the Bears are not that franchise where we know what we're doing with quarterbacks, okay? We are a franchise where quarterbacks go to die because we don't know how to coach them up. We don't know how to surround them with talent. We don't know how to actually develop them like other franchises can. So, again, really sad because you guys know I was so excited when he got drafted here. Like, it was one of the happiest moments of my time being a Bears fan. But fast forward, 2.5 years later, and this is where we're at right now, where we're one of the worst teams in football. Our quarterback had, again, I think less than 100 passing yards in this game. I'm not sure what his final stat line was, but whatever it was, probably was not good, and there's not much hope for him going forward, okay? I think that the Bears probably are going to be starting Tyson Bagent now somewhere down the road, probably to save their own asses if the coaching staff does stay, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference at all, because even though Bagent might have better abilities to pass from the pocket, this team still fucking sucks, okay? And benching Fields is not going to solve all of our problems. Leave your comments down below, guys. Like, I'm really thinking what I want to do with this channel, like, I'll be honest, because I know, like, I'm only a Bears channel, like, I'm still always only gonna be, like, mostly a Bears channel, but, like, it's gonna be so tough to make videos for the rest of the season if they're not, like, NFL draft videos or, like, talking about future potential coaches. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to create these prediction videos on a weekly basis for you guys because nobody cares anymore. Like, we're such a shitty football team, everybody has given up, so, like, obviously, I'll still try to make videos for you guys, at least like one a week, one reaction video too. I'll still be watching every single game because I'm a loyal, diehard fan to this shitty fucking franchise, which doesn't deserve my support, but I am, okay? So I'm still going to be making videos for you guys, but let me know down below in the comments if you guys want me to make other types of content too, because it truly does drain my energy talking about this terrible team, and it's such a shame that's gotten to where it's gotten at this point. Leave your comments down below, and there's no way in hell I'm saying bear down today because fuck this team.